Alrighty, and we are live. What is up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of Benny in the Booth podcast. Just getting everything set up, and we will be ready to go. Hope everyone's day is going well, week's going well. I don't really have a reason why I'm doing the episode this late today. Sorry about that. Just how it worked out today. Hmm. I know the Penn State game is over, but I'm gonna wait till next week's episode to cover it because, anyways, the rest of the college football playoffs are tomorrow, so not gonna cover it in today's episode. Get things set up. Okay, what is up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of Money in the Booth podcast. Thank you all so much for the support to this point. I very much do appreciate it. We've got a big episode to go over. We don't have college football playoffs as the games. One game was tonight, and the rest of the games are tomorrow. And already my bracket is basically fried because Boise State decided to get blown out by Penn State. We'll talk about that more in next week's episode, but yeah, a utter complete domination. So my bracket is fried. Let's see if they've even updated it. Yeah. No, not yet. Okay, so anyways, let's get to today's Immaculate grid. So up top, we've got Padres 30 plus homer season batting and 200 plus strikeout season. And then we've got Cardinals, Nationals, and Phillies. Cardinals and Padres. Think I'll double check this, but I'm pretty sure Jim Edmonds played for both. Thanks for the comment in the chat. I do see your comment. Yeah, he did. But I also realized someone that might be even better answer. I'm gonna go David Eckstein. 2%, I will take that. Okay. Padres and Nationals, I could go I could go Josh Bell. I could go Juan Soto. Who else can I go with? By the way, if you're still here and you think of any options for any of the slots here, do mention in chat. Who else could I go with for Padres and Nationals? So is going to be obvious. Josh Bell's probably going to be a top answer. Mike Cameron, I don't think played for Washington. Drew Pomerantz didn't play for San Diego. Evans did not play for Washington. Who might this be? Who could work here? Aegon didn't play for San Diego. Oh, I've realized someone fun I could say. Kenzie Gore, 3%. I will take that. Okay, Phillies and Padres. Now onto this. I think I just realized someone. One of two people. I believe at least one of these two played for San Diego. Okay, one of them definitely did. I feel like the other one also did. I might be wrong. Only one. But I will take it. The Flying Hawaiian, Shane Victorino. I just had an idea with the other guy I was thinking of. 4%, I will take that. Does he fit? He does. So for 30 plus homer season batting for Phillies, I'm going to go with Jason Worth. 2%, I will take that. Nationals 30 plus homer season. Any chance you did it? I know you were power. No. No. Okay. Feel like you might have. He did not. Ian Desmond? No. He never really had that many home runs. Michael Morse? Yes. Thirty plus homer season with the Cardinals. Someone I'm interested to see if he did. I have my doubts, but I'm like curious to see. He did. You know what? I'm going to use him. Speaking of Padres, Fernando Tatis Sr., known for having 2 grand slams in the game. 1.0%, I will take that. Okay, 200 strikeouts in the season. I'm curious to see if he did it. I have my doubts he did, but I'm curious. Any chance you would have done it? No, not even close. I was thinking of Jason Marquis. No. What about you and your one full season with St. Louis? And even done your career at all. Well, the closest you got, but no. Somehow you and your one season there? It wouldn't even be a full season. And didn't even get enough strikeouts either way. How about this fun answer? I doubt it, but I don't know. Surprise me. Yeah, no. He did it with other teams, but no. Mm. Oh, you know what? I was thinking of using him somewhere else. I have a feeling he probably did it for St. Louis. Or not. I was thinking Woody Williams. Uh, Click Tavares. Tavares. Or, no. Oh, Carlton? Yeah. Probably be more popular for Phillies, 200 strikeouts. 7%, I will take that. Washington Nationals. Here's something I think would be fun if he did. And he absolutely did. Nationals pitcher around their 80s time when they were good. Steve Rogers, 5%, I will take that. And then Phillies. I'm going to risk the biscuit because I feel like he could have done it, but not sure if he did. Roy Oswalt. And he absolutely did not. Okay. 8 out of 9, I'll take it. As I expected, uh, Carlton was the highest for Phillies 200 strikeouts in the season. So, highest for each category for Padres Cardinals 24% is Ozzie Smith. For Cardinals 30 plus homers bat in season batting is Albert Pujols. For 200 plus strikeout season with the Cardinals is Bob Gibson. For Nationals Padres at 44% is Juan Soto. For Nationals 34 Nationals 30 plus homer season batting at 34% is Bryce Harper. For Nationals 200 plus strikeout season pitching is Steven Strasburg. For Phillies Padres, I forgot who was Padre. At 30% is John Crook. For Phillies 30 plus homer season is Ryan Howard. And of course, their 200 plus strikeout season highest for Phillies at 27% is Steve Carlton. So I got an 8 out of 9. Let's shift over to walk-off. So I've saved the Diamondbacks and Rockies. For here, the categories are franchise most RBIs, ranked 20 through 24. Franchise most strikeouts pitching, ranked 20 through 24. 2024 plus play appearances for Arizona and final game with Arizona. So what I've been doing for these is I line up the batters in the batters category, pitchers in the pitchers, and then the last one I just will end up being educated guesses. Matt Williams. And Escobar, Williams, and Gonzalez will be my guesses for most RBI. Delgado, Valverde, and Chafin. I'm going to put for strikeouts. For plate appearances, I'm going to say Burns, Tracy, and Snyder. And then final game with Arizona, Tomas, DeMello, and Rosales. See how correct I am. So, franchise most strikeouts pitching for ring 20 through 24 and final game with the Diamondbacks. I got them all right. The hitting one specifically, though, I have only one right, which means if you just flip the two, it will be completely perfect. And bada boom, bada bang, done in 2 tries. So the correct answers for the Diamondbacks were for franchise most RBIs ranked 20 through 24, Eduardo Escobar, Chris Nair, Eric Burns. For franchise most strikeouts pitching and ranked 20 through 24, Randall Delgado, Jose Valverde, and Andrew Chafin. For 2024 plus play appearances for the Diamondbacks, Matt Williams, Chad Tracy, and Luis Gonzalez. And final game with the Arizona MLB game with Arizona, Yasmani Tomas, Sam DeMel, and Leo Rosales. So now let's do the Colorado Rockies. I'm going to put in a similar tactic. So, Trone, Gonzalez, Barmes. I'm going to flip Trone and Gonzalez. No. I'm going to keep Trone, keep Gonzalez. Anderson, I'm going to add to strikeouts. Chatwood, I'm going to add to strikeouts. And let's see how this goes. So I know that franchise most RBIs ranked 20 through 24, Crone fits in. For franchise most strikeouts pitching 20 through 24, Tyler Anderson and Tyler Chatwood fit in. I know for 2024 plus play appearances for the Rockies, Clint Barmes fits in. And final game, MLB game with the Rockies, and Edgar Escalona fits in. The rest I do not have correct. I'm going to flip the 2024 plus play appearances with the Rockies and franchise most RBI ranked 20 through 24 and see what that gets me. So I now officially, after flipping, have the play appearances fully correct, in that being 31-14, Penn State won in the end, by the way. Clint Barmes, Andres Galarraga, and Todd Helton. It also tells me that franchise most RBIs ranked through 20 through 24 is CJ Cron. but I'm still trying to figure that out. Still trying to figure out strikeouts and still trying to figure out final game with the Rockies. So I'm going to switch Rosario with Gonzalez and Ritz with Oberg. And let's see how that gets me. And it's fully correct at there. So full correct answers for each category. Franchise most RBIs ranked 20 through 24. William Rosario, CJ Crone, Eric Young Sr. Franchise most strikeouts pitching ranked 20 through 24. Tyler Anderson, Kevin Ritz, and Tyler Chatwood. 2024 plus play appearances for the Colorado Rockies. Clint Barnes, Andres Galarraga, and Todd Helton. And final MLB game with the Colorado Rockies. Edmer Escalanola, Luis Gonzalez, and Scott Oberg. So that is a daily walk-off for today. Now I can leave that alone. And now let's get to batter up, strike zone, and 2004 batter up. So this is today's strike zone of a current player. I'm not sure off the bat who this is. So I'm just going to fire off guesses to try to get closest to it. It is not NL, but it is a starter. Okay. Is it AL Central or AL West? And I literally got out my second guess just throwing out a guess. It is Christian Javier of the Houston Astros. Well, how about that? Okay. Today's batter. Is this William Contreras? Wow. First guess. Got it correct. Okay. So now for 2004 batter up. Today is a hitter. Not sure off the bat, but I'm going to fire off guesses to try to get an idea of what division it could be in position wise. It's not National League, but it is an outfielder, so that helps. Okay. Is it AL East? Yes, but it is not Red Sox. Is it AL West? AL Central? Oh, is it the Yankees? Yes, and it's literally my guess for the Yankees, Bernie Williams. Now I totally see it, and I should have been able to recognize a lot more quicker. Being he's in MLB The Show, and I love his swing in MLB The Show. I'm like very good with his cards, but that's all for those games for today. I hope to still keep doing it for episodes when I do not have them already done before the episode of the week. So now let's dive into today's notes. There isn't much MLB, and there isn't much for football. But we've got some headlines within each. So for baseball, there were 2 trades, and the rest are all signings. Let's go through the signings first. Gleyber Torres, Yankee era is over. He officially is signed with the Detroit Tigers 1-year, $50 million deal. I think it's smart of him to get out of Yankees after all that, the whole mess he's gone through there. And it's going to be interesting to see how they play that infield around between him, Torkelson, Colt Keith. Though I think they said they plan to move Colt Keith to first, which knocks Torkelson out. So I don't know. It's going to be who knows what that infield's going to be like next year. Trevor Williams re-signs the Nationals 2-year, $14 million deal. He's been so not really much to say there. Josh Bell's returning to the Nats on a 1-year, $6 million deal. He was with them in 2022. They traded him to the Padres along with Juan Soto, and it's been up and down different rosters since. Corbin Burns is not re-signing with the Orioles. He is signing with the Arizona Diamondbacks, a curveball out of nowhere that nobody saw coming. Though it makes sense because his wife just had twins, and they live in Arizona usually, so now he can just be home with his wife with his twins, which congrats to him. I might have happened a while ago, so congrats on having twins. 6 years, $210 million. I mean, if he's going to be on his A game, this is a great ad for Arizona, and they very much need pitching depth. So we'll see how this plays out for them. And then the last signing since last week's episode, Teoscar Hernandez is staying in LA, 3 more years, $6 million deal. This makes total sense for the Dodgers. He raked last year for them, went off, had a great season, and I completely understand it for them to keep him. Yankees now have to figure out what they're going to do with outfield, as not that many outfielders are left on the market. 2 trades have happened since last week's episode. One stuns me a bit, but with logic kind of makes it make more sense, and the other is just kind of random. The random one, Twins traded reliever Giovanni Moran of the Boston Red Sox for catcher/infielder Mickey Gasper. I don't have much to say about that trade, but the trade that does leave a sting in me is the Marlins have traded utility man Vidal Brujan of the Cubs. Plays a whole bunch of positions, was a bat last year. But the part that hurts me the most is they give up their one Jew that was left on the roster in the minor leagues, and Matt Mervis. Now, yes, I get it. Every position's literally filled up in the major league roster from first baseman to DH, and Michael Busch, Seiya, and whoever else they're going to consider. But it's just rough to see them trade Matt Mervis away as a Jew, given that he was the only Jew on the roster. But it is what it is. Not much more I could say about it, and have to move on. By the way, as you notice behind me, there's some new stuff in the background, and I did want to show this to you guys. Hold on. So I had a secret. I was part of a secret Santa, or a Jewish name of it, secret Maccabee, with my own step family. No, oddly enough, my little brother got me. And what he got me, and basically it was all through a website that gave you like a wish list option based off the budget, like stuff you can add to a wish list. And I had added this to the wish list. And he ended up getting me this, and it's basically a layout of Wrigley Field by sections and the full layout. So you can see here all the different sections by numbers, and this is up to date, almost probably as much up to date as you could get, as they do note the video boards in left and right. And the train that's for Wrigley for public transportation gets you off like right around this area, the outfield area. Usually like can get in around gate D here. But this is a cool thing I was given for part of my secret Maccabee from my own brother, even though it was with step family. And then something a step sibling, one of my own step siblings got me that is cool, is a Stanley type of steel cup that has the ability, that is like a ballpark checklist with many things from each ballpark. And I've already marked it with all the ones I've been to. The ones I haven't marked are the ones I haven't been to. And this includes tours. I don't include New Rangers. Let me spot that. Where's New Rangers? Here we go. Just because I haven't been to the new one yet, I was at the old one, which is nearby. But until I go to the new one, I don't want to mark it yet, since I haven't been there at all. I might stop by it when I'm in Texas coming up next month, but until I go inside, I don't plan to mark it. But the rest I have been to, whether tour and or game, and I could probably indicate each thing that's represented for each stadium. This is the pool in Arizona. This is one of the entry gates, I think, by Cardinals. I'm pretty sure I passed it, but I didn't go inside of it for the game I went to. This is the Apple, and right by the home plate entrance for Citi Field. This is the Liberty Bell light in Philly. That's in right center field, I believe, or right field. This is I believe this is outside the home plate gate, I believe it is, by Detroit. And oddly enough, let me find this. From my one time I was in Detroit, bada boom, bada bang. This is me and my dad when we went to Tigers, right by that same exact spot. This is, so for Brewers, this is the retractable roof layout that they have. Angels, I've seen the outside of it, but not this perspective from like a back angle, hence why I don't count it. And then go lower down here. This is behind the Scoreboard in center field. On the Street View, I have seen it from Street View before, as I've gone to Fenway twice. This is their one of the scoreboards in Dodger Stadium. I believe the one in the left field, if I'm not mistaken. I've toured here, but not been to game two there. This is just the home plate gate area, I believe, for Rockies, but I haven't been there, so I don't really know for sure. This is a home run marquee they have in like center field in Cincinnati. This is New Rangers marking. And I'll move lower down. This is the interesting dome setup they have for Marlins. I've gone by the gate area of this, but I didn't go in there for the game. But I think I might have gone in the area there for when I toured there in 2019. This is the scoreboard in center field for Kansas City Royals. This is the scoreboard with the circle things on top for White Sox, which was even there when I went to games there way back. This is a train in Houston. I think that's it for this row. And then this is the Roberto Clemente Bridge in Pittsburgh, which I'm pretty sure I went over when I went there in 2018. These are the lights on top of the scoreboard in left field, which I've sat right under plenty of times when I've gone to games there. This is the markings of, I guess, like World Series appearances or something that they've had in Nationals / Centers / Expos history. This is the old scoreboard from O.Co Coliseum. Obviously, they're not there anymore. This is the Coca-Cola bottle and the glove they have in the outfield in San Francisco. This is the warehouse by Camden Yards. This is the Western Metal Supply Company building in San Diego. And then go down. This is the home run marquee. I actually definitely have a picture by it. And I've taken pictures of it different times I've gone to games. Let's see. I'll find it. Not the best angle, but this was from when I toured Wrigley with my sports friend. But here's like a perspective of the roof of Marlins Park / Lone Depot. Not like the perspective they've give on the sticker, but a perspective of it. This picture from Camden Yards in 2022 has the warehouse in it a bit. Let's see. Here we go. Here's another pic with me by the home run marquee in center field behind home plate. This is a friend of mine from Chicago that I was in high school with. That I went to a game together with, and the Cubs won like 15-1. It was a complete blowout. Uh, let's see. Oh, yeah, trip down memory lane. This is pictures of me with some of the statues outside PNC Park in Pittsburgh. Wagner. I believe this was Stargell. And this, I believe, is Clemente. I'm wearing Cubs stuff because they were playing the Cubs that day. If you're wondering why I was wearing Cubs, wasn't random. Was more just because of the team they were playing. I think I also have pictures of Marquee from games I've been to in my app. Let me see. In ballpark app. And here's another one. This was from a game in 2017 I went to between the Cubs and Brewers. Myself, I'm not in the pick, but this is one. So there we go. Cubs lost that game. Here's one from Cubs Rays game I went to in 2017. Cubs won this game, and this was a crazy game. Do I have any others? I don't think so. But yeah, I just wanted to show those because I had gotten those recently, and people probably for sure have noticed it in the background. So wanted to make note while I remembered. But yeah, that's all the MLB news. I'm just gonna put the stuff back, and we'll dive into uh, NFL Week 17 recap for Week 18 predictions. By the way, these are the stickers for the teams I've not put on here because I haven't been to the stadiums. This is Mariners and Angels, which the Mariners I think is just the home plate gate there. This is Rockies, Giants, A's, and Rangers. And then the Ray tank for Trop, though they're not going to be playing there this year. Also, we're also nearing the New Year, which is crazy to be saying. Hold on a moment. Just put the stuff back. Man, you can now you'll be able to see the Wrigley thing in the background here and that here. It's not going to be in my backpack because I plan to take that with me for school. All right. Let's dive into NFL recap. So, a few notes here, and then we'll get into Week 18 predictions. We are nearing the end of the next week is the last week of the season, which is crazy to say. So, Week 17 recap. Chiefs beat the Steelers 29-10. Travis Kelce now has at least 90 catches for the seventh season in a row, the longest streak by any player in NFL history. No other tight end has ever had 90 plus catches in more than 2 consecutive seasons. Orioles, I said Orioles. Ravens beat the Texans 31-2 after outgaining Houston 251-58 on the ground. Today, Ravens have outrushed their opponents by 1,664 yards this season. That would be the second largest rushing difference in a single season in NFL history behind their own team in 2019's 1,802. Lamar Jackson now has 6,110 career rushing yards, which is the most rushing yards by a QB in NFL history. Seahawks beat the Bears 6-3, which, if you're wondering, I have been to a 6-3 game myself. If I didn't have copyright issues, I would show you the highlights. I don't have pics on my phone. Hold on one moment. I can show you that I was at a 6-3 game. Where is it? Here we go. Doesn't have proof of like pick of me at the game, but I have this in my Memento Live book sports scrapbook of the Browns against Seahawks where it was 6-3. And FYI, yes, they had pieces of their Super Bowl winning team, not full roster. I'll even show you what that team looked like, and I'll even show you what the Browns looked like in that season. So why not? Let's have a little fun. No, that's not the only note I have about that game, but let's have a little fun. So the Seahawks in that season, they already had Pete Carroll as their coach. Their quarterback was not Russell Wilson at the time, but they had Lynch already. They had Baldwin already. They had Lockett already. They had Tate already. Who else? Malcolm Smith, KJ Wright, Brandon Browner, Cam Chancellor, Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas. They had Hauschka already, Joe Ryan. Like they had people that were eventually part of their Super Bowl team, but they only managed to put up 3 points in that game against Cleveland. Probably should be able to find the box score of that game here. Yeah. Here. Literally just three field goals, 52-20 and a 53-yarder. Charlie Whitehurst didn't have a great game. Colt McCoy didn't have a great game. No team really had a great running game or receiving game. But yeah, just that was and then not really much better. Like the Browns, it makes sense for it to be 6-3. The Seahawks not as much. But they had like Colt McCoy, Seneca Wallace, Peyton Hillis. This would have been the year after that. This would have been the year of his cover year. It's not the year he went off. Josh Cribbs, Greg Little, Muhammad Asquai, Jordan Cameron, Alex Mack, Joe Thomas, Fiber Rubin, Ball Sheard, Phil Taylor. This is like nostalgia looking back at this roster. I didn't remember so many of these names. Joe Hayden, Buster Screen, Phil Dawson, Scott Fujita, TJ Ward, Benjamin Watson. Wow, this is a trip down memory lane. They don't even have much of a recap for the Browns Seahawks game. How about that? Oh yeah, also rest in peace to Greg Gumbel, former he was a CBS broadcaster for football and a bunch of other sports. Honestly, broadcaster, and I very much enjoyed it when he broadcasted games for the Browns. I don't think he was the best in NFL, but I think he was definitely one of the best. But either way, back to the football notes. So the Seahawks beat the Bears 6-3. This game was the first game in NFL history, the first NFL game where each team had 6+ punts, 3+ sacks taken, 2+ fumbles, 1+ turnover, and 0 touchdowns since a 6-0 Colts win over the Jets. Part of the strike, part of the season where replacement players were playing during the strike on October 11th, 1987. Not the first time we've mentioned that strike season this year. Chicago's lost 9 straight games despite committing just 6 turnovers. In that time, that's the fewest turnovers during a 9-game losing streak by any NFL team since 1950. Chargers hammered the Patriots 40-7. Jim Harbaugh has 10+ wins in his first season as a head coach with the Chargers, the 49ers, and Michigan. He's the 5th coach to have double-digit wins in his first season with 2 different NFL teams, but the only one of those to also do it in the college football level. Ladd McConkey having 10,054 receiving yards this season is most for a Chargers rookie ever, passing Keenan Allen's 1046. Rams beat the Cardinals 13-6. Rams now have 2 rookies with at least 4 picks this season in Kareem Kinches and Jalen McCullough. The last NFL team with 2 such rookies was 2017 Saints, Marshawn Lattimore, and Marcus Williams. Bills hammered the Jets 40-14. Aaron Rodgers, first QB to throw an INT and then get flagged for unnecessary roughness on the return, then get flagged since Vikings Forrest Jackson on Week 17, 2008 versus the Giants. So that was in regular season, with Lamar doing so in the postseason in the 2019 divisional round against the Tennessee Titans. There are 5 times in NFL history a QB has had a season with 300+ completions, 400+ rushing yards, 40+ total touchdowns, 5+ rushing touchdowns, and a division title. All 5 of those by Josh Allen in 2020, 21, 22, 23, and this current season, as the Bills have clinched the AFC East. Giants beat the Colts 45-33. Malik Neighbors is now the second Giants rookie with 1,000-plus receiving yards in season 11, 1,140 to be exact, in a season with Odell Beckham Jr. in 2014. Drew Lock is the first QB on this season with 4 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown in a game. Eagles beat the Cowboys 41-7. Saquon is now the 9th running back to have 2,000 rushing yards in a season, in hoping to pass Eric Dickerson. We'll see if he passes him on Sunday or not. But either way, Tanner McPhee, the backup, the third-string quarterback, not McPhee, is the first player in NFL draft era since 1936 to have multiple touchdown passes in his NFL debut while attempting 5 passes or less. Buccaneers hammered the Panthers 48-14. Bucky Irving is the first Buccaneers player to reach 1,000 rushing yards since Doug Martin in 2015. The Dolphins beat the Browns 20-3. Myles Garrett's only a player in NFL history to reach 100 sacks before 29 years old. That was from last week, and I didn't mention it. I wanted to mention it. But the fact from this week, he's also the second player to have 12-plus sacks in 5 straight seasons. I believe it's 5 straight, it might be more. But basically joining Lawrence Taylor as the only 2 in NFL history. Commanders beat the Falcons 30-24. Gene Daniels is the only QB in NFL in the last 38 seasons to go 5-for-5 or better with no sacks and 40-plus rushing yards or on a single drive, and did so in overtime to put the Commanders into the playoffs. And the Lions beat the 49ers 40-34. This marks the 5th time this season Detroit has scored 40-plus points in a game without a turnover. That's the most by any team this season, and is the first season in NFL history. Kirby Joseph now has 9 interceptions this season and is the first Lions player to do so since Jimmy Allen in 1981. Jahmyr Gibbs is the only player with this season with 70-plus yards from scrimmage in all 16 games this season. Since 2003 / 2022 /22 seasons, 49ers have only either made an NFC Championship game or missed the playoffs, missing 15 times and making the NFC Championship game 7 times. This game is the first game with 10-plus touchdowns and 0-plus punts, 0 punts since 1937. And a journal note from this week: for the first time in NFL history, 4 rookies have reached 1,000-plus receiving yards in a season. Brian Thomas Jr. is 1,179. Brock Bowers, 1144, Malik Neighbors, 1140, and Lan McConkey. That is it for Week 17. Week 17 predictions record, I went 14-2. Overall, I'm 177-79. Standings update in the AFC East. The Bills have won the division. Their record is 13-3. In the AFC North, Ravens in first place at 11-5, who have clinched the playoff spot, followed by the Steelers, who are 12-6, having clinched the playoff spot, followed by the Bengals, who are 8-8. In the AFC South, the Texans have clinched their division and are at 9-7. In the AFC West, the Chiefs have clinched the division. They are 15-1. In the NFC East, the Eagles in first place, having clinched the division at 13-3. In the NFC North, the Lions are first and Vikings tied for first at 14-2, both having clinched the playoff spot, followed by the Packers, who also clinched the playoff spot at 11-5. In the AFC South, the Falcons in first place at 9-7, followed by 8-8 Buccaneers. And then in the AFC West, the Rams in first place at 10-6, having clinched the division. Oh, let's see something, because I just realized that might be a typo. Tampa in first place, not Atlanta, and then Atlanta in second place. No, sorry about that. AFC Conference standings: Chiefs in first, Bills in second, Ravens in third, Texans in fourth. Tied for fifth between the Steelers and the Chargers at 10-6, followed by the Broncos in seventh at 9-7, and tied for eighth between the Dolphins and the Bengals. In the NFC West, the Chargers have clinched a playoff spot, by the way. The Steelers have also, of course. In the NFC, sorry, not NFC West. In the NFC, Lions in first, Eagles in second, Rams in third, Buccaneers in fourth, Vikings in fifth, Commanders in sixth, having clinched the playoff spot, Packers in seventh, and Falcons in eighth. Every other team's been eliminated from the playoff picture. And then as for Week 18 predictions, Saturday, I said literally going into when I was looking at the article about the Saturday schedule, I said, how funny would it be if the Browns' last game of the season's starts on or is completely on Sabbath. And little did I know how right I would be, because their game this week is on Saturday, starting at 4:30 p.m. on ESPN/ABC/ESPN Plus, which just I'm honestly fine with it, given how bad this season's been. And they're probably going to get their butts whooped by Baltimore anyways in Baltimore. I'm predicting the Ravens to win that game. And literally both AFC North games are Saturday, which makes sense since division's online. And then Bengals and Steelers on ESPN/ABC/ESPN Plus. I have the Steelers. Sunday, Panthers at Falcons, 1 p.m. on CBS. I have the Falcons. Commanders at Cowboys, 1 p.m. on Fox. I have the Commanders. Bears at Packers, 1 p.m. on Fox. I have the Packers. Texans at Titans, 1 p.m. on CBS. I have the Texans. Jaguars at Colts, 1 p.m. on Fox. I have the Colts. Bills hosting the Patriots, 1 p.m. on CBS. I have the Bills. Giants at Eagles, 1 p.m. on CBS. I have the Eagles. Saints at Buccaneers, 1 p.m. on Fox. I have the Buccaneers. Chiefs at Broncos, 4:25 on CBS. I have the Chiefs. Chargers at Raiders, 4:25 on CBS. I have the Chargers. Seahawks at Rams, 4:25 on Fox. I have the Rams. 49ers at Cardinals, 4:25 on Fox. I have the 49ers. And Sunday Night Football, Vikings host at the Lions at 8:20. I have the Lions, which would give them, and the winner gets the division. That is it for this week's episode of the podcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening. If you're new on YouTube, leave a like, hit the subscribe button, leave a notification bell to notify when I go live and I post a new video. If you're new on audio, follow the podcast, leave a review, hit notification bell to notify when I post on there. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I will see you next week's episode 155. Bye-bye.